Because most undergraduate students tend to think of research as only in chemistry, physics, the sciences, engineering. And Zora Neale Hurston showed us all, even biologists, sometimes they think that they're the only science and research people. But Zora Neale Hurston is a person who I've used for 2 decades now because of her definition of what research is. And hers is a very simple definition. She said, research is formalized curiosity. It is poking and prying with a purpose. Simple. That's what research is. Formalized curiosity and poking and prying with a purpose. And for me then, what this day, Research Day, does is to celebrate our formalized curiosity. Celebrate our poking and prying with a purpose. And so, whether you know it or not, you've been poking and prying with a purpose. Whether you know it or not, you've been engaged with your faculty mentors, with your staff mentors. You've been engaged in formalized curiosity. And I think it's important that we celebrate the performance, the achievement, the pursuits of our student researchers, along with their faculty mentors. And this year, we're doing a couple of things different and new. We're having internet streaming of this luncheon session, which is great, brand new. But we're also having new some proclamations, and I want to just have one proclamation read. And I'm going to ask Tony Garces, I'm going to ask Professor Knapp, and I don't know if Sherry Ann Grant Fordham is in the room, but I wanted to have 3 colleagues representing faculty, students, and staff. Sherry Ann around? But Claudette, can you? All right, we'll just go with Tony. Borough President was gracious enough to issue a proclamation declaring this day in the Borough of Queens Student Research Day. And I'm going to ask Dr. Knapp and Tony, let's have a female student join us. Can you join us? Political science major, I just chose it because I just not by any, not because I'm a political scientist. I just heard her presentation this morning and I saw her. So we're just gonna maybe read the first sentence or two.
On the occasion of its 4th annual Research Day, this event salutes students and their faculty mentors who have engaged in research or creative works together throughout the year. Student Research Day is the largest annual exhibition of student research and creative efforts at York College, and recognizes the significance of the contributions of these unique partnerships.
Great.
Well done.
So thank you, and thank you for helping to make this celebration of something new, a proclamation. We've got some other proclamations, but we'll take those later on. Let me just get to my 3rd and final task. Have you ever heard the saying, it takes a village to raise a child?
Yes.
It takes an academic village to have a research day. And so I want to have us thank those villagers, the villagers who are faculty mentors, the villagers who are support staff from B&G, Administrative Affairs, Cullen Art, villagers who are in VP Thomas's office, VP Dolores Swearing's office. This event could not have been put together simply by just wishing it to happen. It took a lot of people across the college in places that you may not know exist, making small and sometimes large contributions, getting the registration going, having the registration done, having the badges put together. So what the student researchers are benefiting from today takes a lot of effort started in the fall by faculty who were teaching classes and getting their mentors, their mentees to prepare, by faculty who were working in the advisory council. And I'd want to invite all members of the Undergraduate Research Advisory Council to please stand, because a lot of behind the scenes work done by those faculty. I see Beth Rosenthal is there, I see Sharina Inayatullah is there. Some of our colleagues are shy. Please stand if you recognize. Some of them are not here because we're doing things outside. I left here a little after 8 last night, as did Assistant Provost Enke, and Professor Sam Gelly was here, helping to get the management of the registration going. So if you have an opportunity, please thank someone who is from the village of your college, helping to make this event a worthwhile, successful event. Let me end by introducing our president, President Marcia Keyes. In her 8th year as president, please join me in welcoming President Marcia V. Keyes.
Thank you so much, Provost. And let me just recognize the Provost, because from a tiny seed that had been planted before him in undergraduate research, he's been growing that tiny seed into a strong, strong tree. So, Provost Griffith. It is my duty to thank you all for being here, to bring you greetings on behalf of the other students who are not here today, but who will have the benefit of probably seeing the streaming video or listening to your poster outside. I want to bring greetings on behalf of our very dedicated, brilliant, resilient faculty, and of course our staff. And yes, this is turning out to be a big day here at York, this undergraduate research day during April. It is as if we know that, yes, you need some relief after you filed your taxes, right? So we put you to work, first to distract you from the filing of the taxes, to get you to focus on something intentional with a phenomenal mentor, and then to get you to go ahead and pursue the discipline of putting the poster together and then presenting it. And today, of course, is the culmination of that work. And so we're delighted that so many of you, is it almost 400, have participated with your mentors to make this such a great day. So this is part of what we at York like to think of as an intentional interaction. An intentional interaction that takes place not in the classroom. Yes, we know a lot of great things happen there. But we also want to have some intentional interactions outside of the classroom. Because the folks who have come through York in these many years, those who came in 1966 and beyond, tell us that this is a quality of the experience that they really like. And so we have been trying for years to provide you with these intentional interactions. And they have brought some wonderful results. Just recently, some of you probably heard the news of a York alum, 1981, a scientist, Dr. Prasad, who is a member of the team at Johns Hopkins conducting the research that has provided a functional cure. Is Dr. Simon here? Yes, functional cure for HIV or AIDS. For HIV. I wanted to make sure I got that right, because you corrected me once, and you know how you keep making the same mistake all the time? So you're here, a possible functional cure for HIV in the Mississippi infant. You've all heard that news, right? That's an intentional interaction. There's a poster over there, York alum makes news. Another intentional interaction took place just recently with Dr. Sue, who is here. Dr. Sue, where are you? Right there. He took 14 of our aviation management students on Monday morning out to Farmingdale Airport for an intentional interaction with airplanes, Cessnas. They had instructions from the Aviation Academy. They went up in planes. They flew to Groton, Connecticut, and then they flew back. And they had pizza. So we want to thank you for those intentional interactions. And of course, who can forget some of the intentional interactions, and you're going to have a little bit of that now, later on, with our musicians and our performers, the big band, the Jonathan Quashes, the Dream Girls, the Tim Amrines, the Tom Marions, who provide yet intentional interactions. So whether they're in the sciences, or in psychology, or in health, or behavioral science, or the performances, etc., that is one of our goals, and that's what we celebrate today. So for celebrating your undergraduate research, thank you, faculty. Thank you, students, for engaging. Let's have a great time. Let's listen up to our keynote speaker. I'm not introducing, but I just want to acknowledge him, Dr. Partha Mitra. Thanks for joining us. Phenomenal day, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy.
Thank you, President. Round of applause and President. Now I'd like to bring forward some of the student presenters, Robert Johnson, Mohammed, and Rob Fernandez. Yes. Okay, I think we're also, Valerie may join us as well, but right now we're just going to move ahead with the presentation. So I'm going to pass Rob the microphone, and I'm going to, is this one on? Hello? That doesn't work. Okay, so we're going to share. So what I'm going to do now is, these are some of our featured students who've shown, many students have really excelled, and every year we just pick from the various schools representatives to share with us just a little bit about their project, their mentor, and how rewarding the experience was. So what I'm going to ask is that you introduce yourself and you tell us a little bit about your project, your mentor, and what the project meant for you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Robert Johnson, and I'm a history major here at York College. And I'm so grateful, and it's a wonderful honor and a privilege to be in front of all of these wonderful people and this wonderful audience. So give yourselves a hand. So basically, my mentors have been Professor Michael Efthymiadis and Dr. George White. And basically, my research is dealing with the Cold War. But my topic is the true objectives of the United States during the Cold War era, basically, and that's what that's what I was looking at. And when I started this research, I didn't know how could I take it, because I saw so many injustices that took place during the Cold War era, and so I said, if I just present just the injustices, then that's not what an historian is supposed to do. A historian is not supposed to judge history, but to analyze it and give people an understanding of what actually happened during that time. I can't look at something that happened 20 years ago from my perspective. I have to look at it from what was happening during that time. So basically, my thesis of my research paper was basically that the true objectives, that's what I'm looking at, the true objectives of the United States during the Cold War era. That to look at it, that the true objectives are revealed through a combination of the explicit objectives and the implementation of these objectives. And that's what I basically looked at. You can't just look at how it was implemented, but we have to look at the objectives. What was actually happening in the situations that caused these things to happen? So that's basically what I was looking at. I want to take one thing as an historian, I want to show a holistic picture, not just one side of the story. And I believe that can help me to be a more effective historian. And so my conclusion that I come to, based on the objectives and the objectives that I looked at, was that the United States had the potential back then, in the 1940s, to be a force for democracy and universal human rights abroad, and still yet has the capability and the potential to be a force for democracy and universal human rights abroad. Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you, Rob. We're going to have time for some questions afterwards. So let's go on, and please introduce yourself, tell us your major, and a little bit about your project.
Hi, my name is Rob Fernandez, and I'm a